back to Our Family B. I'm Brigitte, and in this video, I'm going to show you what I meal prepped last week and then tell you everything that I ate for lunch and dinner and what the kids ate and what Brandon ate. So let's get into it. Hey guys! So I'm meal prepping and still in my PJs because I was like, you know, I need to make breakfast today. It's Sunday, and so since I'm already cracking a couple of eggs, let's just crack a bunch more and meal prep some cheesy eggs for the week. So Benjamin's gonna help me. Over here, put it over here.
Oh, okay.
Here.
Ta-da!
Hard shell in there while I was cooking. Apparently I missed it and me or Benjamin dropped it in. I don't even know. In here I added salt, pepper, garlic powder. I was gonna do mozzarella but it didn't smell right, so I threw it away. It was only a little bit left. Some goat cheese that was from Christmas and some of the mixed cheddar Swiss Fontina or something like that from Costco, and some regular shredded sharp cheddar. I didn't cook it all the way because, you know, you're going to reheat this during the week. At least that's what I'm going to do. The eggs continue to cook after you take it out. So, you know, right now you can see it is pretty well done. And I took it off when it was soupy. So, got to go get the baby up. Got to get ready for church soon. Okay, I am doing a whole bunch of meal prep, but in between a bunch of other stuff today because it's the weekend and I am off. So before I need to go upstairs to put Brielle down, I'm going to do a whole loaf of peanut butter and jelly to put in the freezer. And you guys, check it out. We got a new freezer. Dun, dun, dun. It's not the most ginormous freezer. We actually have it sitting up on like a thing. And don't worry, it is completely safe and mounted and perfectly fine. It will not fall over. But we're waiting for it to like settle or whatever before we turn it on tonight. So by tonight I'll be able to put the peanut butter and jelly loaf in the freezer, and because the other ones are completely full. But it will just give us some extra room and let us meal prep more for the freezer, which is awesome because the freezer is our friend. Okay, if you aren't using your freezer to its max capacity, what are you doing? It's such a great thing for meal prepping, and so really excited about that. We've been looking around for one for like 6 months now and finally found this one. It was a good deal, and so we went ahead and got it, and we kind of redid our kitchen layout and stuff like that to accommodate for it, and I think it's gonna work awesome. So I'm gonna make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and then go put Brielle down and then come back to doing some more meal prep. The other thing I was going to tell you is that, okay, so I have this natural peanut butter from Costco, right? And you have to, basically the easiest thing is to dump it all out to mix it because, you know, the oils settle on top. But my favorite thing to do is to add add-ins. So in this, when I was mixing it all up, well, when Brandon was mixing it all up in a big bowl to incorporate it and get all the chunks out and the dry spots and mix the oil in, he added in some chia seeds, which I don't know if you can see in there right now. But I like to add chia seeds and or flax seeds or hemp hearts or whatever other kind of fatty things. And those actually help this to not continue to separate after you've mixed it. So you are supposed to keep this in the refrigerator, which is problematic if you're dealing with like no power for hurricanes or something like that, like in Florida here. But it's obviously healthier for you, has no hydrogenated oils in it and no sugar or anything like that. So I do like to use this, but mixing it is such a pain, like every time you open a new one. But I will tell you, I love adding the chia seeds or flax seeds, or try to do ground flax if you're going to do it, because the seeds are actually really hard for your body to digest, and then you're not going to get all the nutrients. So make sure you grind it up first, and if you can grind it at home in just like a little spice grinder, it's going to be healthier because then the oils haven't already been released from the seed and then whatever. So we did a bunch of research on it like a couple years ago. But I added chia seeds to this, and it adds extra omegas. And so if you don't do that, try it. See how you like it. So I'm going to use this, and because it's going to go back into the freezer. And then some just grape jelly I have from the fridge. So now let's get to it. night, I soaked some white beans, which we got a bunch for free from somebody, and I was experimenting with them. So I soaked them last night, and then I divided it up. It ended up being 12 cups soaked, and so I divided it up into 6 cups that were soaked. Put 6 in the Instant Pot, covered it with plenty of water, but it was still under the max line, and I forgot to season it or do anything. So I just took that out right before church, and I put half in the freezer and half in the fridge, and I'll mix it with pasta, and hopefully the kids will eat it or something. But I'm gonna cook the other half, which I put in the fridge before we left for church, and I'm gonna season it with like a bay leaf, some garlic cloves, some salt, and some onion powder, I think, and kind of see how that turns out. I quick released it after 10 minutes, which was still way too early because it was bubbling and spurting, and I'll put in some clips here. It was obviously too early because it should not be doing that, and the liquid level was too high, and so lesson learned. I guess I will let it natural release for at least 20 minutes. I only cooked it for 7 minutes, but I probably could do 6 minutes because I did pre-soak them, which breaks it down a little bit, and it was soaking for a while overnight. And so if you have any tips or tricks for how you cook stuff in the Instant Pot, like how you cook beans or your favorite recipes, leave them in the comments down below because I'm always looking for new recipes, since I did recently just get the Instant Pot and I'm trying to use it a lot more so I can learn about it. Okay, let's do the beans. Okay, I got caught up doing stuff, dealing with the kids, putting them down for naps, well, Brielle, and it's been naturally releasing for 57 minutes, and so I don't know when the little pin dropped, but it dropped, so it's done. Let's see what it looks like. Also, guys, don't forget, these little slots here are for the lid. Okay, it smells good. Hold please, I need to respond to some texts. So I tasted them, they're really good. They're flavorful, which is nice. They're very soft, which depends on how you like them. But I think it's good because they're soft for the kids, and hopefully since they were soaked for a while, they won't cause as many digestive problems. Right, Benjamin? Beans are done. So these are gonna cool. The bag will go in the freezer, and the other one will go in the fridge for meal prep for the week. Don't exactly know what I'm meal prepping yet for everything. I do know a couple of things, so let me go see what else we can do. So I'm gonna do a couple chicken breasts with a half cup of water because I've heard that's the minimum you need. And after it cooks, I'm gonna shred it and add some cream cheese, and then divide it and do ranch to one and salsa and taco seasoning to the other, and have that. And then any extras I'll just freeze in quart-size bags flat, and then I can just pull it out when I need it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All this work now is going to pay off later. That is the point of meal prep. So let's do that. I cooked the chicken for 45 minutes from frozen, and it was perfect to shred. It ended up naturally releasing for 50 minutes only because that's when I circled back around to get them because I was busy doing other things. If you don't intend to shred the chicken, then you can certainly cook it for less time. Kind of seems like overkill, but when I did it for less, it didn't shred as well, and so I just went with 50 minutes. I added cream cheese to both of them and ranch to this one, and then taco seasoning and salsa to this one. So good. I need to brown the ground beef. We got a whole big thing at Costco, and so that's been in the fridge, and I need to brown it all up to be able to use in meals. So we're probably gonna have a pasta meal with it. I'm gonna mix it with some vegetables with some sauce as a meal. So even though I'm not telling you exactly what we're using it as, or at least showing you the whole meal, I'm giving you ideas of what you can do, because really meal planning and meal prepping is using what you have and getting creative. So even if you don't have an exact recipe, it's like, well, let's combine what we have, you know, take into consideration the things that you love, and then make a meal out of it. Some of the best like meals we've had have been just like improvising what we have. So mixing our favorite meat or sauce or vegetable with other things that we have and just making a meal. It doesn't have to be complicated. I know sometimes even I make it so complicated, like, oh, it has to be perfect and I need all the exact ingredients and spices and stuff, and it's like, if you don't have it, you don't have it. Like, don't stress over it, just use what you have. So I'm gonna brown up the beef to use in future recipes. Some of it's gonna go in the freezer, and so we'll have meat already cooked, which is great because meat is half the battle. I mean, unless you're vegan, but preparing meat ahead of time, like defrosting it and like cooking it, that is the hard part. So if I can get that done, that's a win in my book. Okay, so I showed you a lot of how I meal prep certain items, but I'm gonna tell you now how I combined it with other things to make a meal that I would either eat for dinner here at the house with everyone, or what I brought with me to work. So for 2 days, I brought the shredded chicken. One day was salsa chicken, and the other day was with the ranch chicken, and I had that with pork rinds, and I just used it as a dip. And then one day I had a salad on the side, and one day I think I had fruit or yogurt or something on the side. Another day I brought the beef that I mixed with some cauli rice and some leftover broccoli. One day I had some pasta with the beans that I cooked in the pressure cooker, and then the kids also ate that one night for dinner. I ate the cheesy eggs for breakfast every morning, and then I usually paired it with like toast, or we had donuts because we had picked them up for something special, and so I had a donut one day with the cheesy eggs. You know, I like to balance out the sugar with the protein, although I try to avoid the sugar. Brielle, what are you doing? Eat your breakfast. Brandon meal prepped some sandwiches for a couple of the days, which was some lunch meat that we had, some Swiss, and some rye bread. As far as the kid lunches, we did peanut butter and jelly 2 days with fruit, and the other 2 days we did some lunch meat with cheese and fruit. They only had a 4-day week this past week. And for dinner for the kids, one night they had the Franks in a blanket with some fruit. We get that at Costco. They had pasta with beef, and Brandon made like a white sauce on the fly, and they loved that. One night they had the pasta with beans that I also took with me to work that day. And one night we had frozen pizza because Friday night is our pizza night. And Brandon and I had some Caesar salad on the side. And one night, because let's be real, life happens, Brendan took them to McDonald's for dinner because I was working later that day and he needed a break, and he had lots of other stuff to do, and so they were contained in their car seats and they had McDonald's, and of course they loved it. I feel like there's 1 or 2 days that I missed, but I don't remember what we had, and it was probably just something random that was in the fridge. So that's okay. You don't have to plan every single meal. As long as you have some nutritious food that you know you'll eat, that you guys like in your family, then at least it's in the fridge and prepared, and you don't have to go out to eat. That will save you tons of time and money, and honestly, the more you learn to cook and prepare your own foods, the better you'll like those foods over fast food, because you'll know exactly what's in it, you'll make it to your exact liking, and sometimes it's just easier and better that way. So I hope this video inspires you to go do your own meal prep and just to use what you have. It doesn't have to be perfect, but using what you have will save your family time and money. If you aren't already subscribed, make sure you click the button down below and hit the notification bell up to all so you don't miss when we post new videos, which is every Tuesday and Friday. To check out other videos we've made, click below. Until we meet again, don't forget, life is better together.